Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. I'm gonna stop you right there. Yes, I don't sound amazing right now. I don't feel amazing right now, but the show must go on. We are a weak society filled with enablers. Oh, you're missing a leg. Are you sure you want to go to work today? I have a duty to the corporate structure to get my work done, to the tax base of this country and the services that depend on it. 8JAP, 7J6H, as Kane. Last run was great, but we passed up Mom's Knife and things got a little funky, but it ended up working out in the end regardless this time. Out of those three books, I gotta say, I could be tempted to take the Bible, but Necronomicon I think is okay. I don't actually feel that bad, like, I feel worse than I sound, but that's good, because my voice is what's important, not my demeanor. You know, I can continue to just hide my true feelings deep inside of me, as I have since I was a young boy, and, you know, put on the happy Isaac face. But the truth is that I'm actually, you know, genuinely happy to be playing Isaac, as always. I need to come up with something else to play on the freaking channel at some point, you know, especially now that, well, I don't want to say that, like, Oxygen Not Included has ended, because I'm not sure when this episode is going to go up. Maybe I'll have started a third Oxygen Not Included colony and freak people out. But no, like, the second season of Oxygen Not Included is done. XCOM's kind of in, like, a weird limbo, or, I don't know, maybe not even in a weird limbo by the time this episode goes up. But Isaac's always there for you, man. Like a birthday or a pretty view. You get the idea. Larry J. Not a concern. Stay in your fucking lane, Larry Jr. You stay in your fucking lane. I can't hit you with Mom's razor blade. The hitbox is smaller than I thought it was. Look at that seemed perfect to me. Mom's razor blade just cannot hit Larry Jr. I'm losing my mind here. As long as I don't lose my spirit heart, that's okay, but that's fine. Alright, no problems. Actually, I don't even feel that bad, was the next thing that I was going to say, but I don't feel great. I think all the traveling and the relative exhaustion of PAX is kind of coming together, hitting me all at the same time. It's not a major problem. Like, I'll get over it. Like, there's people who feel like this every day. That's wild, man. And then you got to go do a job that's harder than this. Gets my utmost respect. Unless that job is like, you know, enabling horrible human rights violations or something like that. Like, you ever think about that? Like, this episode's apparently going into a real, like, dark place pretty quickly. But what if you're like, I'm not condoning this, but what if you work in, like, human trafficking? You go to work at, like, 6 in the morning, or your alarm goes off, and you're like, you know, wimp, wimp, wimp. Ugh. Honey, just call in sick today. No. My boss needs me. It's gonna be a busy day. And then he comes home late at night, and he's like, you know, Tito was just such a douchebag today. Like, doesn't he know we're all trying our best? There's a skit in there somewhere. I don't have the comedic. Oh yeah, absolutely. And we got the ability to fly already, thanks to Seraphim, which is kind of ridiculous. Where's our third Seraphim item? Oh, the Bible we picked up probably counted. Okay, I get it. See, that's the kind of joke or comedy sketch that would need to be handled with some tact, and I don't think I have that tact, especially not improvisationally. So I don't know if I'm going to take that joke any further. Wait a minute. Was there not a library back here then? But I like the idea of that joke. I like where that joke could go. I think you could make it tasteful without making it completely neutered. Anyway, either way, we got Book of Revelations. That's a good item. And this run is really just kind of balling out of control really early on here. I'm going to like having Book of Revelation, so we actually have a second orbital that should be showing up, like, you know, basically right now. And we can use this second orbital to do damage with Holy Mantle more aggressively, because apparently the Razor Blade just, like, it works against enemies. It doesn't seem to do anything against bosses. It just pushes them, like, slightly further away. You gotta think about that, though. Like, if you think about, like, what's the most evil company you can think of? And I'm not saying that they are evil, but I think when a lot of people hear that, they'd be like, Monsanto. Okay. We're gonna skip Mom's Knife again. You know why? Because it gives me power to skip Mom's Knife. People want my power, and they want my station. let's say Monsanto is, like, somewhere in the labs they're performing, like, human experiments, okay? So that you don't feel bad about talking shit about them. Somewhere, you know, at Monsanto, when you think about it, you think about, like a old, you know, British dude in a suit going, well, who cares about the poor? We can turn them into fertilizer. You know, and everyone in the boardroom laughs. If it'll make my stock options rise a quarter point, then sure. You get the idea. But somewhere at Monsanto, there's like a janitor having a bad day, right? He's like, this is the only job I could get. And then, you know, Mr. Monsanto comes in. Cheers, Gerard. You know, here's something for your family. Don't spend it all in one place. He throws like $1 million bill into a sewer grate or something like that, and they all laugh about it because they're unabashedly, objectively dicks. You got to feel for that guy. You're like, you know, hey, what do you do? Oh, I work at Monsanto. Ooh, well, I'm a janitor. Well, couldn't you just get a job as, like, the janitor at a charity instead? You know, these bad places. I mean, again, I'm not saying Monsanto's bad. I wasn't even saying Monsanto. I was saying Monsanto. I was just saying it really weirdly. I'm not even saying that it's bad. I'm just saying, you know, even at these evil places, even in Dr. Evil's lair, you know, there were evil caterers, there were evil janitors, there were evil HR people that had to be like, you know, Dr. Evil, you can't throw Scott into a pit of sharks with laser beams on their heads. It's like a human rights violation. It's the great thing, or the hilarious thing about businesses, you know? They unite everybody in the search of the almighty Aller most of the time. We gotta try it, right? Maybe we don't. Maybe we can go for something more immediately useful. Like the piggy bank, for example. And in a way that can make good people turn bad, you know? But it can also make a bad company employ good people. I don't know where I'm going with this. We're going toxic shock again. If we ever hit the point in which people go, toxic shock is boring, then I've done my job. Because that means toxic shock has shown up a lot, and that means that I'm a happy camper, I think. So I'm going to be using my orbitals to pretty much accomplish everything we can on this run. By the way, I recognize I'm setting a dangerous precedent for myself. Not so much with the Monsanto stuff. I mean, I do have a biology degree. Maybe I'm going to be applying for jobs in, you know, a decade or something like that, and that's not going to look too good in the interview process. You know, if you're going to ask me about how I feel about patenting genes, it's a very touchy subject. You know, that's why you have lawyers well-versed in science that can deal with stuff like that. I'm going to take the smelter here. I'm digging myself a hole. Anyway, I'd really love to work here in a janitorial capacity. But by not taking Mom's knife on the regular, we are creating a situation in which people are going to start to think that we're never going to take Mom's knife, you know? It's like, imagine if you went to a restaurant, they had a new manager. It's your first time ever being at the restaurant. They give you bread before your meal. They never gave anybody bread before their meals before, but you don't know that. Next time you go back to the restaurant, they don't give you bread. You go, what's the big idea? What happened to the free bread? You don't understand that it's it was a one-time promotion by somebody who wasn't concerned about bread being a loss leader, for example. I don't want to get you guys used to the free bread necessarily. If I owned a restaurant, would I bring out free bread? It depends on the kind of establishment. If I brought out, if I ran like a sushi place, I'm not giving you free bread. That just seems weird. And if you don't think that that would be weird, where do you live, buddy? I gotta know. It's like, yeah, I'll have the chicken nanban, and can I get a dynamite roll and a California roll, and bring out some of those freshly baked Swiss rolls you got back there. Well, Swiss roll is not what I'm thinking of here. You get the idea. You get the idea. I think every restaurant, though, should be forced by law to sell or to give you complimentary chips and salsa. As far as I'm concerned, that's just a no-brainer. Don't you want happy customers? I want happy customers. Chips and salsa is going to make me a happy customer. So Trinket Smelter is basically crushing it right now. I can't remember all that we've gotten. I think we got Liberty Cap, and then we got the Rosary Bead, and then we got something else, I thought, that I cannot recall for whatever reason. Brain's a little fuzzy right now. You know, I feel like, you know, you like drink a cup of coffee. By the way, you might be wondering, is he ever going to defend that chips and salsa point? No, the point is that I like chips and salsa. If I went to a sushi restaurant and they had chips and salsa that came out as an appetizer, I'd be like, hell yeah, I'm okay with that. If they brought out freshly baked, you know, focaccia bread, I'd be like, it's a little strange. I'll still eat it, but, you know, I want you to know that in my snobby heart of hearts, I feel weird about it. Sure, Mr. Boom. But I feel like the, you know, you drink a coffee, and then you're done with it. You've had enough coffee, you feel good. And then you come back like 2 hours later, and there's just like a little, like one sip of coffee left in the bottom of the mug, and it's cold. There might be some coffee grounds in it, and you're like, am I really gonna drink that? That's the coffee that I feel like right now. I don't feel like a clear cup of, you know, Starbucks cold brew or something like that. I feel like the gunk that's on the inside of the espresso grinder. Be the tar in your lungs in this episode. This is a great run, though. Like, this run is actually just very good. We're gonna take Pentagram first. Although it didn't really matter, I suppose. I figured I didn't want to lose out on potential, like, HP bonuses for taking the Pact last, but Pentagram plus Pact is also awesome. We're gonna pop the World card because we can. World card. And we have really very, very little to complain about. So I'm searching hard to find something. And what I would complain about, I suppose, is rate of fire. And damage. And HP. Oh, a sneeze. Oh. Man, I love working without having a camera on me. Because I just look like, you know, the final frame of a pornography video right now. Not to be gross. So if you'll give me a moment, I'm just gonna grab a little Kleenex over here. Mission accomplished, nothing weird about that. I could have muted myself, but I'm not gonna blow my nose. That's okay, it's a sign of weakness. It's a sign of weakness. Let's go check out our curse room here. Like, we're not really looking for a guppy dream. If it happens, I'm not gonna kick it out of bed for eating crackers, but it's a pretty amazing setup so far already. I'm just like... Said that in a very petulant, like, teenage voice. Dad, you just don't understand. I know my damage is above average, but I'm just passionate about using my orbital right now. Son, that's a bad long-term strategy. It's reckless. Take it from me! Your mother and I did that when we were younger, and look at us now! Yeah. Fixing to go get a job so I can grow up and be just like you. Which, as you know, is the exact plot to the Nothing But a G-Thing music video, the preamble. And then the first act is about them, like, drinking some 40s in a parking lot. The second act, they play volleyball with a comely young lady and pull her top down, exposing her breasts during the video. And then, I actually just don't like the clicker. I'm gonna reserve a few items I just don't like. I'll use data miner at least once. The clicker can suck on my clicker, though. My cookie clicker. Thank you, Black Candle, and thank you, Tarot Cloth, for being excellent, and thank you, Two of Spades, for giving us 64 keys. The third act, I can't remember. There was a lady, she walks into, like, a party, and she's, like, you know, she's looking like she's there to meet some gentlemen. But I can't say that for certain because there's no words. I'm just going off of body language here, and I could be wrong. But apparently she has a bit of a snobby attitude, so everybody gets some 40s of Old English, and they shake them up and spray her down, and then she gets, like, all the alcohol in her hair and all over her clothes, and she's, like, mad about it, but everyone's laughing. Don't understand. I kind of thought it was a tragic story. Like, maybe she's rude. That doesn't mean you need to spray her with these 40s. Like, everybody's just there looking for a good time, right? Maybe she came in and was like, the Chronic's not that good. They were like, please. Are you talking about our upcoming album, The Chronic, that this song is on? Are you talking about my song, The Chronic, or are you talking about marijuana, aka The Chronic? Why not all three? Now I understand it. It's like, you can disrespect me, and you can disrespect my work. And you can disrespect nature's candy. But wait, what was I talking about again? See, that's a joke that's very self-aware. The punchline was that I got lost. Whackity schmackity do. Okay, what do we got in here? The Joker card. I like it. I love it. I don't want some more of it, but you know why? Because I already have two, thanks to the fact that it dropped two of them back there. So, I might use the Joker card. It's the same card that dropped, right? But why did we get two of the same card that dropped? That's what I gotta ask myself. If we got two of them, right, okay, which we do, we might as well use one right now. which we're like very much hoping gives us lump of coal. Wow, I got hit. That's on me in an extreme way. Lump of coal is pretty good. We'll grab this, and now that's boss rush access. We could really use some kind of mapping. I don't understand why Pin doesn't take damage when it's underground. You know what? Now I was thinking about it. I was going to draw like an analogy like, oh, if a nuclear bomb goes on you, all you got to do is get underground and you could escape the radiation, right? That's stupid. But actually, I was like, that's sort of how it works. You know, just dig a hole, but I mean, you kind of like dig a hole and then put concrete around it. The body. I was just about to say, as I was taking it, I shouldn't take it. But I got lucky, and I didn't take it. Not that it would be the end of the world either way, but why compromise permanent Polaroid invincibility, right? So we'll take deep pockets. And I mean, we could take Mom's purse, but I think I'm just gonna donate as much money as I can. Mostly because our donation machine is in like the healthiest spot it's been in a long, long time. Joker 2 of Hearts or Joker Empress? Joker Empress is better. And I had the map and I didn't look at it, so that's on me. Now, for all the positive stuff in this run, don't get me wrong, it's a very, very, very strong run, especially considering that we have Holy Mantle and Orbitals. It's very hard for us to get hit. It's very easy for us to deal damage to enemies. All this being said, we just need one Spirit Heart. Thank you. All this being said, it would be nice to take our actual tier damage into the next gear. Sure, like 7.47 with a 7 rate of fire is not that bad. Sounded like a pilot back there. A job that actually has some, you know, respect associated with it. As long as you're never late by more than like 15 seconds. Sure, we'll grab this. And we've already seen that. And our items in here are Rotten Baby, good enough. Miter, pretty good. Ghost Pepper, middling. And then X-ray goggles. I think we'll take Rotten Baby out of all these. And then head down to the next floor. That's not bad damage, but our orbital is just so much more tempting right now. And admittedly, 2020, or not 2020, but Bookworm does some stuff for us. It helps out. Not enough to really get the blood pumping too much, but it's not horrible. And the Empress card, because of Tarot Cloth, is plus 6 damage, which is on the high side. So if we could just maybe get Horror Babylon, that's a start. But we're kind of, I guess I must be in a mental fog right now. Because we're 15 minutes into a run, and I'm like, are we going fast enough? I'm not sure. Like, it could go a little faster. And it could, but probably, like, it's a little bit on the ridiculous side to complain about it whatsoever, so. Oh, we got this, we got this. I'm, like, becoming the plot to the Runaway song right now. And I always find something wrong. If you look at my DPS, it seems too strong. But I got synergies that I don't like at all. So I think it's time for me to make a call. Could you please give me brimstone? Could you please give me Mom's knife? Could you please give me Death's touch so I can have an easy life? Could you please give me defeaters? I gotta tell you that I need it. Baby, I got a plan. Scum away as fast as you can. Sorta worked! It sorta worked, which is why I went for it. It's like, she find pictures in my email. I sent Edmund a picture of my seed. I don't know what it is with... Oh, wait. I don't know what it is with Eden, but I just can't seem to beat greed. See, I gotta have me a spun run. Still get addicted to the clicker. Well, let's not continue down this road. Make it look even slicker. There you go. There's a song there, dude. That was off the top. There's some refactoring that needs to be done there. But you get the idea. There's some creativity in there somewhere. And that's why I like whatever, I'll go for it. Not that it matters, I guess, but that's why I like doing these videos Well, sick, because it is a little bit of like an altered state. Just not by much, but you're like 10% off kilter. Maybe you take a little bit of a commitment to a joke that you wouldn't have otherwise gone for, and I like that. I like what that can lead to. So I think I'm just not gonna take third level Cube of Meat, because I really like having the ability to hit enemies with orbitals. Third level Bandage Girl's like not that bad, but kind of like being able to control that the orbital does damage. And then I just picked it up anyway, but you know, can you blame me? Yes. Yes, we can. Let's womb 1. It should still work. We should be able to get, like, close to enemies without risking getting hit too much, and then just have the Cube of Meat do more damage. Hopefully it does do more damage. If it's just that it has range, then we messed up. It also blocks shots, which is, well, like, second level Bandage Girl blocks shots. I don't know, I feel like this decision wasn't that bad. Seems to be working out pretty well right now. Nothing, I think, so, I mean, don't hate me. I'm not trying to speed through the rest of the run, but I don't really want to fight Hush, and, I have, like, very little money. I do have the keys to open the item rooms, but I just don't think this is a Hushy run. But, I'm gonna go fight Isaac, and I'm gonna, obviously I already used it, but I'm gonna use the Emperor card to do it because I don't expect to get anything on the Cathedral that's gonna make our run that much better. Now, on the chest, I'm all about trying to get some cool stuff happening on the chest. Give me the items on the chest. I'm ready for it. However, that was very bad. However, on the Cathedral, on the womb, very low percentage chance to get great stuff. We could have taken Cambion Conception, by the way. I just don't think that there was enough time to really make it too useful. Could be wrong. I don't think so, though. Alright, final floor at 19 minutes. It's a very, very fast run. I'm going to take Halo of Flies. I'm going to take Spider Babby. I'm going to take Bursting Sack. And I'm going to take Bum Friend. These are like 4 items that almost don't matter to me in the least. But we got them now. Let's try to make the best of it. We also, like, how do I feel about Trinket Smelter in the whole scheme of things? I think it was very good, actually. Even just being able to kind of, like, agglomerate, like... Well, can't do anything with that. There's a lot of wasted charges, like, that's for sure, but even just being able to get like 4 or 5 decent trinkets together makes that an extremely worthwhile item to hold. And of course we can get rid of it if we get a better spacebar item. I don't necessarily think that's too likely. I mean, as of right now, the one thing we're lacking on this run is, well, like, an 18-inch dick, aka Brimstone, but if we could also get like, you know, a higher luck stat, I'd rather take like 8 luck over 10 damage right now, because... I mean, first off, it's a bit of a sliding scale, I guess, but, well, smelt that. But that's because, the luck could give us anything. It could even give us more damage. It's a gulp pill. In my head, I concocted a very small bit. I was like, well, even calling it a bit is doing it too much credit, but... You know, sometimes they get teased apart as the game goes on, but I was like, man, wouldn't it be hilarious if this was a gulp pill, but I didn't get it out in time. I just take Q instead. And here we are. And here we are with, like, an easy win as well. And this one, you can't give me any shit for this, you know? Remember that I skipped Mom's Knife on this one. I chose to do things the hard way. Next time, we might not be so lucky. It depends on the quality of the run. But, yeah, 2 Mom's Knife rebukes. What this should mean is that next run, they give us nothing. And then they go, well, you should have taken Mom's Knife 2 runs ago and you'd have the morale stored up to deal with this. But either way, nah, dude. We did that last run. It was good. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.